Hello everyone, this is Orlando from A Collector's Dream, and today I'm going to show you a card that I picked up, and it's a pretty rare card, not very rare card I guess. There's about 50 that were graded by PSA, but it's a card that Mangini doesn't have in his collection. Now, doesn't mean he doesn't have cards of this set, yeah, and better ones, but this is what I picked up. Let me show you what this is here real quick. It's a Baseball Hall of Fame. I'll try to get it without the camera glare on there. See if I can get that for you to see it good here. Sorry guys. There it is. So anyway, that's what it is here. It's a Baseball Hall of Fame. I'll show you what I'm going to do. Focus down on it. This is the first year that Topps ever produced some baseball cards. The first year. And that was 1948. This is the Topps 1948 Magic Photos set. And there's a total of 252 cards. And they're tiny cards. They measure 7/8 by 1 7/16. And it is Topps' earliest trading card production. And it contains the company's first ever baseball card offerings. And these were self-developing cards. And they actually had 19 baseball players, but there's a lot of other stuff on there. There were boxing, All-American football, track and field, American dogs, general sports, movie stars. And then this is part of the Baseball Hall of Fame. Like I said, there's 19 of those. There's also aviation pioneers, famous landmarks, a total of 252 different cards, including people like Charles Lindbergh and stuff like that. But the baseball set, it includes, Babe Ruth and Ty Cobb, Lou Gehrig, Walter Johnson, Cy Young, and this gentleman right here, number 11. Which is Honus Wagner. So yeah, this is not a Dylan card. It's definitely way off-centered. But there's only 50 of these out there. And the key to these cards is not just that the grade, because the grade isn't really that important. And this is a 2. And you see how small the card actually is there. Give you a good look at it here. So it's a 1948 Topps Magic Photos, Honus Wagner or Hans Wagner. And the key to these cards is really like the 1888 Goodwin cards that actually have a photo. Some of them will grade high, but the photo isn't a clear photo. And the same thing with these cards. And the reason for this is because all the images were self-developing. They were similar to the Polaroid photographs that you have. They issued with the blank fronts that could be developed into sepia tone photos by exposing the cards to sunlight. So what you would do is once you got this card, so you think it's centered in the back, so that's what it is here. And it has like I said, a little, let's take a look at what it says again in the back. You got a good look at it there. Who was the starting fielder who played 2,785 games? Nicknamed the Flying Dutchman. And then in the wrapper, it would show you how to develop the photo. And when you pull it out of the pack, it would be blank. The front would be blank. So you didn't know who was there. And then based on the instructions from the panel, from the wrapper, you would put it in the sun and develop it. The problem is that some of them, were very, very, didn't develop really good, So it says that, the Magic Photos have proven popular among collectors of both sports and non-sports set. And it's that fully developed cards are typically in greater demand and command a higher premium than the counterparts in lesser conditions. So fully developed cards, some of them didn't develop completely, so you don't see the whole thing. So this one is pretty good, just off-centered, but, hey, it's Honus Wagner. And Mangini, I texted him that I got this card, and he says that he needs this one to complete his set. So I've got a card that Mangini doesn't have. And one of the cool things when you're into doing the these older type cards, not your standard. I mean, because you've got your standards. And I want to share this. You got your standards, not standard, but okay. You got your standard size cards. All right. What it is today. These are today's cards. But they before that, of course, you had these, the Topps and the Bowmans that were bigger. So most collectors will focus on these two sizes and stick with that. But if you're going to go into pre-war type stuff and just get older, you're going to have to deal with some other sizes cards like this, or you're going to have to, get into some of the cards that are, maybe a little bit in between both of these, like this. So you're going to have a lot of odd sizes, and when you're talking pre-war, that's the kind of stuff that you're gonna get. You're gonna get stuff, like tobacco cards that are this size, the tobacco card sizes. And then you have, sizes like the caramel cards. So when you're getting into pre-war stuff, you're gonna end up all different size cards. Here's another different photo card, different size card. This is a Cuban card, but so you're not going to be very consistent as far as that. And, is this my smallest card? No. There's people with OCD that only want to collect certain size cards, and they won't go into, and I could have brought out the Red Man cards and stuff like that, but, some people don't like odd size cards, and maybe that's why this card, I was able to pick this up. I was the only bidder on eBay for $100, $99 bid, and I was the only bidder. I'm thinking maybe it's the size of the card. I don't know, but it's not my smallest card. This is my smallest card. This 1930 Baguette. So, you got all different sizes, but yeah, this is a tiny, this is a really tiny card. And that came in a little chocolate. Adolfo Luque Baguette. Chocolate Baguette. I came with a little piece of chocolate. And now I've got another small card. My Honus Wagner, 1948 Topps Magic Photo. And it's number 11 of the 19 Baseball Hall of Famers. So I wanted to share that, but I also wanted to talk about, move all this stuff out of the way here. I wanted to also talk about the, and thank Greg from Midlife Cards, and I also wanted to thank Mike Petty for allowing me to be on there, and in a great conversation that we had about collecting and card collecting, and really had a fun time. If you haven't seen that interview, it's great, and Mike Petty's just a superstar in this community, even though he doesn't have a channel yet. But it was a fun time. And one of the things that we talked about there is I was asked about my 52 Mantle. And you can go back and listen to the conversation, but I just wanted to share a little bit more. Here it is. I wanted to share a little bit more about my 52 Mantle. And, it has provenance, and I hadn't shared this part of it yet because I have thought about many times. That's my 52 Mantle right there. I thought about many times reslabbing it and calling it what it actually is. And what it is, it's this. I talked about the find that my mantle was found in, and it's the Pennsylvania Mystery Find. That's what it's called. So I'm thinking about it and just asking you a question, guys. Do you think that I should, I'm going to read a little bit about it, but you can watch the full story on my channel. I've done a couple of videos about this card and shown it many times. It's in the safe, so I'm not showing it today, but there it is. That's the one. You've seen it many times. I'm thinking about possibly reslabbing it, and I do have the SGC label that says it's a minimum size card, and SGC will slab it that way. So I'm thinking about reslabbing it in an SGC holder, which may be dumb at this time, I don't know, but the reason for that is because I want to put on that slab, 52 Topps Mantle, the Pennsylvania Mystery Find Mantle, because this was the mantle from the Pennsylvania Mystery Find. So if I can somehow, on the SGC label, which I think they'll allow me to do, they know this card already, and put Pennsylvania Mystery Find Mantle or Mystery Find Mantle, just to give it the provenance on the actual label, I think that would add some value to it. And I don't know, it's my thoughts, but either way, it is the Pennsylvania Mystery Find Mantle. And just, it talks about it here. It says, I'm not going to read the whole thing. You could see my video on it, but it says that I received a text message from my mother with a blurry cell phone photo of 52 Mantle with a question: how much is this worth? And a number of questions and a lengthy back and forth, the story became clear. My cousin's friend's family found a 1952 Mantle in a stack of cards belonging to a deceased relative. So he goes on to tell the whole story about it and all that, but the rest of it here, it says, I'll zoom in here. Let's see if I can zoom in so you can see a little bit better here. There it is. It says the primary flaw is simple. The card is 1/16 narrow, a significant enough variance to prevent the card from attaining a numerical grade. PSA confirmed our suspicion upon submission that the card sadly would not grade numerically. The company holdered the card with authentic altered grade, however, suggesting something untoward was done to the card. Having spent hours with the family, we do not feel that to be the case, so we did what many do when in our shoes. We asked for a second opinion by shipping the card to SGC. After a thorough analysis, SGC concurred with our opinion that the card is narrow, a size variance rendering it incapable of obtaining a numerical grade. However, in their evaluation, SGC did not see signs of alteration or trimming with the card. Indeed, they offered to holder the card with an A designation, stating that the card did not meet the minimum size requirement necessary for a numerical grade. Ultimately, after conferring with the consignor, we elected to leave the card in the PSA registry, PSA holder for PSA registry purposes, but will include the SGC minimum grading label as evidence the card was not deemed to be altered. So I have that label with me. And it just goes on to say, read one last thing here. Right up here, I'll read the last part of it here. The mystery of how this card came to be will remain a mystery. The original owner has passed, and his family is unaware of the origin of the cards. They are certainly incapable of performing any sophisticated card alteration, nor would they have any awareness that such shenanigans even happen in the hobby. A non-baseball family, they are unsure of how the cards even wound up in their father's belongings. This is really a grandfather at this point. The pile of cards were found in a box of his childhood toys, tied together with string, which damaged some of the cards, but thankfully not this one. Preserved for decades, when the collection passed to us, we likely became the first people not part of this family to have ever touched the card. A pristine, fresh to the hobby, 1952 Mantle is a dream come true. In the days before third-party grading, this card may have taken its rightful place among the most valuable 1952 Mantles in the hobby. A beautifully centered near mint specimen. So this is my 52 Mantle, and that's the story again of my 52 Mantle, just to share with you what it is. And for me, luckily, it was authentic altered. Some people don't read the entire story, but because it was labeled by Authentic Altered, which is incorrectly labeled by PSA, I was able to get this card. So that's the story of that, and it just goes on to, just wanted to share that along with the conversation we had with Greg from Midlife. And the main thing I wanted to share today was my Honus Wagner 1948 Topps Magic photo. And it's nicely developed Magic photo from the first baseball cards produced by Topps back in 1948. So thanks for watching, guys. Really, really appreciate your support and your comments. And let me know, what do you think I should do with my 52 Mantle? Should I relabel it to SGC and put the provenance on there? The Pen Mystery Find Mantle? I think SGC will do that. Will they do that? Do you know if they'll do that? Let me know. I want to hear your thoughts. Thanks for watching, guys. Have an awesome, awesome day. This is Orlando from A Collector's Dream. Catch you on the next one.